You ever get the feeling your life's about to change, but you just can't see how ugly it's gonna get? Yeah, that was me the morning I watched 4 shiny HOA golf carts roll up like a damn parade right along the edge of my east pasture. Out here, 100 acres of Texas dirt feels like the world, but let me tell you, trouble still finds you no matter how far you run from town. It just comes wearing perfume and that too bright, too fake smile. And standing out front queen bee of the whole mess was Karen Randall, Oakwood Rise president, master of the plastic greeting and hell-bent on telling a man what to do with his land. They parked with a kind of entitlement. You gotta see to believe, like they expected a red carpet. I killed the engine on my truck, leaned against the door, and just waited. Karen came strutting over, wedge sandals sinking into the dirt, acting like we had an appointment. "Hunter," she purred, all fake charm. "Thanks for meeting with us." I just looked at her. "Didn't know I had a choice. You're standing on my land. You're—" She pretended not to hear that. People like her, they're real good at pretending. She launched into a pitch, wanted to rent my favorite patch of meadow for their big HOA festival. Food trucks, bounce houses, paddle boats, fireworks, the works. She finished off with a number so low it almost made me laugh. $1,500. For a weekend of trampling my fields, muddying up my creek, and leaving me to clean up after a bunch of city folks who can't tell a cow pie from a pothole. You could have offered me $15,000 and I still would have told her the same thing. No, not now, not ever. Her smile went stiff, but she kept on trying different angles. Tradition, community, good neighbors, on and on. I cut her off. "I'm not part of your community, Karen, and this land's not a party ground." By then, her board members were shifting around, looking anywhere but at me. You could feel the tension like the air right before a thunderstorm. Finally, Karen stepped back, said, "Well, thank you for your time. We'll be in touch." I told her I'd rather she wasn't, and they left in a cloud of dust, all royal procession back to suburbia. But as I was heading back, something caught my ear, a faint buzzing overhead. I looked up and spotted a black drone circling lazy above my field. Not mine, not my ranch hands. Just there, watching. I didn't yell, didn't wave, just watched it drift back toward Oakwood Rise, jaw set tight. Because right then, I knew Karen hadn't heard my no. She'd taken it as a dare. The fire started on a Sunday night, though night ain't the word. Felt more like hell opening up shop. I woke to the smell thick chemical wrong. Not brush, not wood fuel. My heart just about jumped out of my chest when I saw the sky lit up orange, pulsing through my bedroom window. I was out the door before my brain caught up, dog at my heels, bare feet slapping porch boards. Down the hill, my main equipment barn was burning to the ground, flames eating up years of sweat and every machine I ever fixed with my dad. My guys Eli and Marcus came tearing down the drive, barely dressed, wild-eyed. Marcus was already calling the county fire Eli, yelling about sparks blowing west. Only the wind was heading north, straight toward the silos. If those caught, everything was gone, every acre, every hope. We fought the fire with everything we had, soaking sheds, screaming through the roar. That's when I caught the scent accelerant. Some kind of chemical. Whoever set this didn't want to burn brush. They wanted to destroy. Sirens screamed up the road, fire trucks bouncing down the dirt. An hour later, it was over. The barn gone. The silos ruined. 400 acres of crops turned to ash. I stood in the moonlight shirt stuck to my back with sweat and smoke, feeling like someone had scooped my guts out. A fire captain I'd known for years tried to tell me it was an electrical short old wiring. I just nodded, but I already knew better. 3 separate fires. Chemical stink, uphill burn. That's not wiring, that's arson. Come sunrise, I walked the blackened field with Duke, my dog nose, to the ground. That's when I found it, a melted black drone battery right at the barn's edge. 4 propellers still warm, not mine, not Eli's. Someone been mapping my land. That drone from the week before, yeah, it all made sense now. Someone set out to torch my life. County Fire called it undetermined possible electrical. No mention of chemicals, no mention of 3 ignition points. Box checked, case closed. I called an old friend Travis, retired ATF arson investigator, owed me a favor. He came down, poked around, and in less than an hour confirmed at 3 points. Traces of accelerant. Someone knew what they were doing. The insurance adjuster came out, took photos, and a few days later sent a denial. Unable to process your claim due to unresolved cause. $5 million in losses gone. I'd barely wrapped my head around that when Karen posted a syrupy note on the neighborhood Facebook. Please pray for our neighbor, Hunter Blake. All faux sympathy and not a lick of remorse. The comments, well, they twisted the knife. Maybe now he'll cooperate, someone wrote. Maybe this was a sign. But the thing about bad people is they're rarely careful. Travis found a disgruntled ex-contractor, Rick Gomez. Rick met me at a diner, nervous as a cat, and played a recording Karen's voice, sharp as a tack, saying if he won't rent, maybe he shouldn't have the land. Board member's voice. Want me to talk to Carlos again, Karen? Yes. Quietly. No mess. Rick saw them drop off red fuel cans 4 nights before the fire. Didn't know what it was then, knew now. We sent it to a reporter, Mia Park, who'd been itching for a crack at HOA corruption. And wouldn't you know, a few days later, Travis found out one of my own guys, TJ, was seen handing maps to Karen in a board meeting Zoom call. He'd drawn access points, irrigation lines. The betrayal burned worse than the fire. TJ came by, eyes red, shaking. Claimed he didn't know what they'd do, but handed over a second voice recording Karen again. Don't get sentimental. Once the fire is over, he'll fold. He's not the kind to fight. We turned it all over to the DA. Within a week, the county froze every HOA bank account. I filed a $12 million lawsuit. Karen was arrested at her desk, boss babe mug and all. The news went wild. Her lieutenants went down too. But the insurance company still refused to pay, so my lawyer hit them with a second suit, bad faith, punitive damages. Federal charges stacked up. ATF swept the scene, found more proof, chemical signatures, broken locks. I spent nights walking my ruined field running numbers, just trying to keep the farm alive. Most days I didn't know whether I was fighting for justice or just survival. Then came the trial. Karen, in designer suits, eyes hollow. The jury heard the tapes, saw the drone footage, watched Rick and TJ confess. Payments routed through shell companies, HOA event funds laundered for arson. Karen cracked behind closed doors, tried to run, made it 2 states over before they dragged her back in cuffs. The verdict. Guilty on every count. 18 years, no parole before 12. HOA board pled out the association, collapsed, bankrupt, assets seized, even their lake dock sold off. Oakwood Rise reverted to plain private land. Neighbors cheered, panicked, blamed me, but the ones who saw the truth just nodded and got on with life. The civil court awarded me $10.8 million. Not from Karen, not from the HOA. County liquidated every asset. My farm came back rebuilt in steel and concrete. Hired back Marcus, let TJ make peace by fixing what he'd helped break. Rick moved up north, said confession was his only way to sleep at night. Karen still locked up, appeals denied, judge called her unwilling to face her own darkness. But the real revenge, I built a gate at the edge of that pasture, black steel, red letters. Festival canceled for good. Folks come by, take pictures, call it spiteful. Let 'em. Nobody knows what it costs to earn that kind of iron. Oakwood Rise unraveled, pool, closed clubhouse turned into a sarcastic Airbnb, lawns wild as the day. Funny thing, after all that, people started asking for my advice. Land policy groups, city council. Even some politician wanted to fly me to D.C. I told him, if you're too scared to say no, you don't own your land. They printed it on brochures. I just cared about seeing green break through ash spring, bringing new corn dog limping beside me down to the creek. A year later, I stood in the grass where Karen wanted her festival stage, breathed in peace for the first time in forever. If you're listening, Don't ever let them tell you your land belongs to the community just because they want to barbecue on it. Don't let folks who never bled for a place tell you what it's worth. And don't mistake silence for surrender. So what would you have done? Would you have stood your ground or let them burn you out? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear from folks who know what fighting for something really means.